Yo, what's going on, guys? Jetxc here. Hopefully, you guys have been doing good. There is the Nita mini game that is out. I think in 3 days we should be getting. We're supposed to be getting like 120k points, and that should help unlock Nita's extra copies that you need. I think she's gonna be interesting to play. Although, again, I have this theory that I feel like there's gonna be a handful of people that might not like her. We'll have to see, though. We'll have to see. It'll be interesting. In my head, I think a good team for her is probably like Acacia and then maybe Etchel. Um, that's the best team I could come up with just by playing her ever since I got her. But, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, so we got some interesting news. We have the pop-up event that happened in, I believe it was Guangzhou. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. And also, too, on top of that, Snowbreak revenue. So I kind of want to get into that first, the Snowbreak revenue. There is a guy, I think he's on the Taeba forums or Billy, I can't remember, but he is a investor in Snowbreak's parent company. I think it's LHM. I forget, Kingsoft, something like that. I'm not too sure. I forget the name, but he has provided like multiple revenue estimates based off of him being like an insider on how much Snowbreak has made. And I think it's interesting to keep up with this guy because towards the end of the year, I'm hoping we actually get public revenue from the parent company. And then hopefully they will have Snowbreak on there. So we'll see. So I keep up with this guy. He basically summarized that Snowbreak underperformed a little bit. They made 8 million USD for their April revenue, which, I mean, typically they make 9 million. So they underperformed by like a million. It is what it is. But he also adds that additional news, CN players are extremely happy with the Abyssal Dawn story, especially Nita's story, which I can agree. I think Abyssal Dawn has been absolutely fantastic. I think they did a really good job. Some people maybe think Narita's story, she kind of fell in love too quick. I don't know. I think it's debatable, but for how they balance Nita and Narita, I think they did a pretty good job. They also said Abyssal Dawn merch is selling very well, and then there's controversy with the LMH/C-Sun offline pop-up merch event, but it was a success, and that's actually what we're going to take a look at here as well. And I'll put like some video and stuff and pictures and all that stuff on the screen for you guys just so you can see. But so here's what happened essentially. From Mumu's post, apparently LHM wasn't expecting everyone who reserved to actually turn up to the fair, based on their observation of the activity in other companies. So essentially there was a pop-up event that was going on in Guangzhou and a ton of people showed up. The results was that people who went there had to stand in line for 4 to 5, sometimes 8 hours because there was only one ticket booth. And then by the time it was their turn, the merch was sold out because, again, LHM wasn't expecting that many people to actually turn up. So they're figuring out a compensation plan through discounts and delivering the merch to people who already placed orders but went out of stock, which I think is the minimum that should be done since they miscalculated their players' passion for the game. For context, CN Bros are disappointed by how the fair was handled, which I understand considering it was Labor Day, holiday, and everyone came from all over China, even from Shenyang to Guangzhou, just to queue up. And to give you an idea of that kind of time frame from Shenyang to Guangzhou, someone posted by car it's about 28 hours. So it's literally like going from one side of China to the other. And as you'll see in the images, really cool pop-up event. It's honestly, I'm gonna be honest, it's really good to see Snowbreak in a sense suffering from success, right? Because they eventually had to apologize and they have to figure out a solution. But it's good to see how tight-knit this fan base is. And if you notice something, unfortunately, no official cosplayers, right? So they have the little, basically the blow-up dolls of the characters, little mascots walking around. So I think that was cute, but unfortunately, no cosplayers, but it is what it is. But look, great success, huge event. I think even if they kind of miscalculated, they know that they have some passionate fans, and it's good to see the CN Bros really coming out for Snowbreak. I'd be curious to see how they'd get a response at JP. Obviously, in NA or EN, it's just never gonna happen, right? it's we're way too small of a fan base. We lost the majority of our player base after the censorship drama. So, but yeah, Snowbreak suffering from success. It's good to see. Revenue still looking solid. Now, to give you perspective, guys, Nikke makes, and I know a lot of people think Nikke made like $1 billion as per reported by like Pocket Pair. If you look at their actual revenue, they've never made that much money. But Nikke on average a month makes about 8.6 mil, right? So Snowbreak, ever since the Katya patch, recently has been making about the same as Nikke. Now, although Nikke probably makes a ton in merch, I can only imagine how much they make in merch nowadays, especially with how popular they are at JP. But Snowbreak does fairly good for themselves. So, all right, that's really it from me, guys. I will be doing some videos on some of the new game modes very soon, so look out for that. But yeah, I gotta get out of here. W Snowbreak, guys. Later.